YouTube. Hey, Net and YouTube. Hey, everybody. Hey, Net and YouTube. Thanks for letting me do this anyway, even though you're afraid of what we're trying to do. But YouTube will be really good once we replace the evil fascists who run it right now. Just like TikTok will be good again once we replace the evil fascists who are taking over right now. So, this is going to be about trying to find the right people out there, but I do want to talk about the current events with Charlie Kirk shooter and the fake text messages between Tyler Robinson and his roommate. It's just his roommate. Don't think the roommate's trans. Don't think they're in a relationship. Don't think any of that stuff is true. We don't really have any evidence for it. We have some really highly suspicious supposed emails or texts between them. And I was really pleased to watch Ross Childs is the guy who does a really great J.D. Vance impersonation. Um, in fact, check him out in general, but he had a great um, take on it, just talking about how ridiculous and unbelievable, and pointed out some things I even kind of missed in it. Just it sounds like some boomer wrote it. I mean, I mentioned it sounds like Kash Patel fed it into a Chat GPT, and he also mentioned something very similar to that. I feel like our instincts are in sync, and it's a pretty good phrase. Instincts are in sync. I feel like our instincts are in sync, and we're on to something here. I had previously recorded my dubious response to the supposed email exchange between Tyler Robinson and his roommate. And of course, the first place I heard it was from Adam Mockler. And I've been kind of suspicious of Adam Mockler for a while now. So having him read it was probably already getting me in a, hey, wait, what's the angle here? What's Putin's angle here? And Adam Mockler will reveal to you Putin's angle because he's always protecting Putin and protecting the Putin-Trump connection of the Trump Putineers. And Putin's angle is, of course, to blame trans people and make it all part of Trump's anti-trans agenda. But Adam Mockler says it pretty well. He's like, this proves Tyler Robinson's not a groyper. No, it doesn't. I mean, if you accept it, then it suggests, or one may conclude that he's not a groyper, but one might also conclude that he really loves his granddad's gun, that the FBI had done some hard-hitting work to get 5 steps ahead of him, and that he's in love with his roommate, and he calls his roommate my love sometimes in their text messages. It was so unbelievable that I feel like even that, the calling his roommate my love, it happens a few times, and there's really no other affection expressed. I guess at one point he says something like, I'm mostly worried about you, or something like that. But there's no other, like, lovey-doveyness or anything like that. There's just my love sprinkled in a few times, which is pretty unbelievable. It sounds pretty awkward. It sounds like what Kash Patel would write, or Kash Patel would have an AI write, if Kash Patel knew that he was ultimately going to get busted for writing this. And he didn't want anyone to know what he imagined a relationship with a trans girl would be like. He didn't want anybody to know, like, he might have thought of saying this or saying that, but he was like, no, when they eventually find out I wrote this, then they're going to know that I came up with that, or that I prompted the Chat GPT to come up with this. Anyway, I do feel like that's a common response. I'm almost shocked. I mean, I've been watching Ross Child's videos for a while. I'm almost shocked that I was allowed to see that by YouTube. That I posted something about how this seems to be a completely fabricated text message, and then Ross Childs posted the exact same sentiment. Even Candace Owens, who's really the one blowing open the whole lies about Charlie Kirk, even Candace Owens didn't suggest that it was fabricated. She's like, this text message exchange seems to be edited, and that we need to see the whole exchange. It's like they never said any of this stuff. This is awesome stuff Kash Patel came up with out of. Oh, hi, Mr. Turtle Duck. How are you? What is the topic? I was mostly looking for people like you, people that can relate to really talking about stuff instead of getting bogged down and denying stuff. Specifically, right now, I was talking about how the supposed text messages between Tyler Robinson, the supposed shooter of Charlie Kirk, and his supposedly trans roommate are complete bullshit. Like the fact that the messages, mention all the different clues of the case and also seem to have a glowing review of the FBI. Like they're so obviously written by Kash Patel. Like they're so obviously written by the uh, the Trump team, the Trump Putin KGB misinformation clan, trying to blame trans people, trying to exonerate the FBI, trying to. Uh, I think there's Chat GPT is involved. Okay, so you've heard the text. I think ChatGPT is involved because I think ChatGPT's hallucination contribution to the conversation is all the stuff about the granddad's gun. Like I think ChatGPT is obsessed with ChatGPT's or Chat KGB, whatever he's using. Um, Chat KGB is obsessed with Chat KGB's grandpa's gun. And so he interjected that. He was like, I'm going to try to sound human by being obsessed with this gun. Like when someone writes a short story about this, they're going to mention my obsession with this gun. I don't know, all the references to, you saw me inscribing the bullets the other day. I just want this to be a meme. I can't wait to hear a newscaster say that. Like trying to downplay all the meme stuff written on the bullets in order to avoid the obvious conclusion, hey, if groypers use all these same meme expressions, then he's a groyper. But they're like, no, it's just a meme. I just wanted to hear, news reporters say these words. Ha ha ha. And then if you look at the other text messages, there's text messages between Tyler Robinson and his other friends that do seem legitimate because they're just like, oh, you killed Charlie Kirk. Don't go to McDonald's. They're just like, they totally expected it. So thanks for talking with me about stuff. Have you got any more bombshells of information or news flashes that other people haven't heard? I actually heard the text message exchange read by Adam Mockler, which is the best place to hear something if you want to hear Putin's angle on it, because Adam Mockler is just a Putin puppet. And he's like, this proves that he's not a groyper. I've been telling people he's not a groyper. I probably lost 300, 400 followers because I told people he's not a groyper. Yeah, you used to lose all your followers because you told people he's not a groyper. You should be coming back apologizing pretty soon. Anyway, and those people know that they're doing the bidding of the enemy, and that they're soaking up the audience of a large number of people on the left to waste their time and make them feel like they've done something because they've registered, an opinion that won't bring the real culprit to light or to justice. Dylan5958. Let me read Mr. Turtle Duck's comments first, because you can check the chat replay, but people might as well hear me read it. Mr. Turtle Duck says, hello, what's the topic? I agree, I've been trying to tell you. And hey, Euless, I saw a bug crawling on behind your head. Can you kill it? I'm scared of bugs. I don't see it. Sorry, I don't see it. But thanks for the heads up. I'll keep an eye out. It might just be. No, I don't see it. Sorry. If you see it again, just let me know. Okay, Dylan5958 says, weren't you just talking a minute ago about wanting to talk to people that weren't deniers? But now you're denying all evidence about Tyler Robinson's case. All evidence? What evidence? Like Kash Patel or Trump told you that they have a text exchange between these two people. They didn't show any screenshots of a text exchange. The text exchange is completely unbelievable. He spells ooh-woo differently in the text exchange than he does on the bullets. Like, it's really sloppy work. Like, the FBI, the Timu KGB, the FBI, is not only bad at investigating crimes, they're bad at faking crimes. They're bad at crafting this. They're bad. They're not any good at what they're doing. And what they're doing right now is trying to frame trans people by making up a bunch of bullshit. And it's obviously bullshit. I really appreciate Rothschild's video about that. Check that out. I just posted a video referencing it, and I tagged him in the title so you can easily find his channel. But he always does good work. He does an impression of Vladimir Futon, J.D. Vance, Jessica Davis Vance. He does a great impression of him. Lysandra the one who does an impression of oh, what's her name? Damn it, the White House press secretary lady, Caroline Levitt. She does a great Caroline Levitt impression, and she was the one who I heard Vladimir Futon from. Vladimir Futon is hilarious. So anyway, if you just got here, welcome. Since there's 13 of you, I can mention Church of Judas replaces all patriarchy, Christianity, war, and Trumpism. We're replacing all churches in the Christian religion, Mormonism, Catholicism, evangelicalism, Orthodoxy, all of it. We're replacing all those churches. Well, that got rid of 7 people. Cool. Now we're down to the good half. Now we are looking for good people. I'm looking for good people in this live to actually connect with and communicate with instead of giving attention to the Trump-Putineers, the people who believe Trump lies. Basically, if you think trans people are to blame or involved in this in any way, you're just not smart enough to be here, so you should probably find a different live. But if you know that it's just Trump making up lies about trans people to try to blame them for something that he pretty much orchestrated or is completely responsible for, whether he orchestrated it or not, then you're in the right place. We're going to talk about this and we're going to get it figured out. Trump's doing this for Putin, okay? Trump's not just doing it for himself or for Israel. I'm not saying Israel's not involved. I'm not saying Trump's not involved. I'm saying he's doing it for Putin. He's doing it to start a civil war in America and destroy America for Putin. And he's doing it to start a civil war in America and distract America from Putin starting a civil war, a world war, with America. Putin did just attack Poland, which means he attacked NATO, which means he attacked America. Why is the audio popping? Couldn't tell you why the audio is popping. I'll try to, in case that helps. It could be my phone rocking on this little stand I've got. It could be my connection. It could be the FBI. They like to make popping sounds. There's a recording of John Lennon talking about how the FBI was bugging his phone, and like you can hear the popping and crackling. Now, if it's the FBI, the team of KGB, they need to quit trying to frame trans people and quit working with the KGB to spread disinformation. And they need to just bust their masters. I mean, it's time to turn on Kash Patel. It's time to turn on Trump. It's time to turn on Vladimir Futon, J.D. Vance. Anyway, how are you guys tonight? How are the 15 of you? Oh, I may require power application to the phone. So, let me do that while you guys are getting yourselves situated and deciding whether or not you want to speak up or not. Mr. Turtle Duck has been here plenty of times before. He knows what this is about. But the rest of you seem new. You should be talking. You should be commenting. Or at least like. Okay, it's fixed. Cool. Thanks for letting me know that it was off kilter for a minute there. And I'm glad you also agree that text message that they released, the text messages supposedly that they released between Tyler Robinson and, I mean, I feel like it's so bad that they should come back later and say, oh, we didn't even release that. That was a fake release. That was somebody else. And of course they didn't text that. That's ridiculous. Who would believe that? It's so bad. It's such a bad, like, forgery or fanfic of what Kash Patel imagines a guy and his trans roommate would say. Or it's what, they asked him, hey, if you're pretending to be trans, hey, your groiper incel roommate, if you want to pretend to be trans and you want to pretend to be in love with this trans person, what would you guys say? But no, it's more ChatGPT than that. It's more Kash Patel than that. I feel like it's Kash Patel. It's like, it's what he does, apparently, is make up trans fanfic. Booty Bandit says, hey, bro, I see a bug behind your head. That's weird. You're the second person who claims to have seen a bug behind my head. No, I vaguely remember you, Booty Bandit. I vaguely remember your name. Why, did you say something or do something that was memorable? I don't doubt that you could have done that, but I'm pretty good at remembering memorable, like important kind of. I'm not saying you're not important. I'm just saying be more important. Be important now. Do something for me lately. Anyway, Booty Bennett says, I was trying to buy one of your paintings. Oh, well, thanks. You're welcome to buy a painting. I'd be glad to sell a painting. I'll probably start selling paintings at a shop here in Denver. Um, in, I don't know, soon, this week even. Anyway, we got to stop the fascists, right? When there's even a hint of fascism, there's a whole fucking shit cake of fascism, um, just barely sealed away behind some veneer. How much for the sun face one? The sunflower one? Ukraine one? I don't know. How much did you want to buy it for? You can make an offer. You can probably buy it. Whatever you can afford to buy it for. And then I'll have to ship it to you or something. So, $5 probably wouldn't be worth sending it for $5 though. But thanks for offering. Um, so, what is this? It's just calling out the lies about Charlie Kirk's killer. Um, Trump is responsible. Okay, I'm not saying Israel didn't play a role. I'm not saying Israel you know, didn't do a lot. And I'm not saying Tyler Robinson didn't do a lot. But Trump is responsible. Trump is the guilty one. Trump is the one who did it. Regardless of how it actually happened, Trump is involved in a crucial way that makes him responsible. I mean, more than $5. Like, I don't know, 20, $50, something like that. But what you can afford, I can make you another painting that is I can sell to you for $5. Um, so, but this is kind of like a standard of my videos for the last year or so. So I think it's probably worth probably a few $100s by now. I have to set that up. We'll have to talk about that later. Just comment on one of my videos and we'll talk about it. Because yeah, I can sign it. So we've got to call out these fascists and their lies. They were willing to try to blame trans people as soon as this happened. They had a trans person they were blaming, Sky Valadez. And then as soon as Tyler Robinson came out, they shifted to, oh, he's in a relationship with a trans person. We have to have a trans person to blame in this situation. The problem is, what they don't get is when it's supposedly he killed Charlie Kirk for his lover, when it's a crime of passion, even as unpassioned, as passionless and pathetic as Kash Patel's attempt to depict their text exchange was, it you fill in the blanks. There seems to be no love there or no actual relationship there in the way Kash Patel fanfic wrote their their text exchange. But you fill in the blanks and you're like, oh, well, what if they were in love? What if he killed Charlie Kirk to protect the girl he loved? It becomes just a Hallmark movie. It becomes a movie waiting to happen where they're going to be the heroes and they're going to make them out to be fantastic. And they were just, if people think Bonnie and Clyde were heroes, they're damn sure going to think Tyler and whatever her name was. But again, it's not true. That's not true. Like, their fanfic presentation of things could be enough to make a Hallmark movie about and actually make people really sympathetic to the killer and his girlfriend. But it's just not true. That's the problem, is they made it up. Even as bad as they made it up, it's a powerful enough story because of the hatred that came from Charlie Kirk. Because people standing up to genocide, standing up to oppressors is always a good story. So, hello from Lagos. Hello, African. Oh, you're not in Lagos, African child. Last time you were in Nigeria. Do you forget where you even LARP? What African country you even LARP to be is? No, I'm gonna mute you, African child. We don't need your Nazi clan pedophile bullshit. Uncled Uncle Dubs. Sorry, Uncledubs. Uncle Dubs says, did you just say Tyler's the dude who killed Charlie Kirk and her and his gay lover is a Hallmark movie? Yeah, I said if the version that Kash Patel wrote, where they're lovers, was true, or even the version that he wrote, even if it's completely made up, even since it's completely made up, it provokes sympathy for the people who fought back against the oppressive leader, the oppressive ruler who wanted to kill them. It's like, I don't know, like all sorts of movies about people standing up to the Nazis, to the German Nazis. Do you believe anything on the news? I haven't really been watching the news. In fact, it's because people believe things on the news that I've started talking about this tonight. Because people believe that Tyler Robinson was not a groyper when he was. The news is trying to convince you that he was not a groyper, but he is. He has been for 7 or 8 years. Adam Mockler was like, he couldn't be a groyper because when he did the Slav stance picture, groypers didn't exist. Well, maybe the term didn't exist yet, but they existed. He was just one of the original ones. He was an OG, an original groyper. So people will lie to you and try to tell you this, it has something to do with trans people. No, it has to do with Nick Fuentes, and it has to do with Charlie Kirk, and it has to do with the terrorist network that comes down from Trump and Putin. Uncle Dub says, who fought back? What impressor are you guys are sick? Who fought back? What impressor are you? You guys are sick. I don't know what you're saying. Lighthouse Keeper says, see you in Valhalla. Who said see you in Valhalla? Kash Patel? Are you making fun of Kash Patel now? Is this really the time to make fun of Kash Patel? When he just lost a crisis actor? Uncle Dubs says, impressive shooting kill people to shut them up. Impresses tell people to shut up Charlie. Give a mic and said, speak, let's talk about it. Are you sick? I really don't understand what you're saying, Uncle Dubs. It's just like a mishmash of stuff. I was actually looking for people who aren't Trump Hooteners. Trump Hooteners are welcome to comment. I'm probably not going to take the time to block you or to mute you. Who do you think killed Charlie Kirk? Okay. Trump is responsible for the killing of Charlie Kirk. No matter who killed him, Trump is responsible. Okay? Did Trump pay somebody to pay Tyler Robinson? Did Trump pay Nick Fuentes to pay Tyler Robinson to kill him? Maybe. That's not out of the realm of possibility. In fact, that's still probably the most likely thing. Now, he might not have paid him. He might have just activated him, which, again, likely. He could have paid him because Putin has a lot of money that is, to some extent, for projects like this, is at Trump's disposal. So let's go with Tyler Robinson killed him. Right? Goodbye, tight stops. Let's go with Tyler Robinson. Okay? Let's talk about Tyler Robinson killing Charlie Kirk and how that's Trump's fault and how Trump's responsible for that. Is this like a Tupac and Suge Knight thing? No. I mean, maybe. I guess it depends on what aspect of that you're making the comparison to. Uncle Dub says, bro, you're going to school somebody because you disagree with them because that's what I'm getting out of you. Of going to shoot somebody because you disagree with them. No. Are you? Is that what you're doing? Are you projecting on me? Because let's get Uncle Dub's channel activity in case they're a terrorist. They joined 4 years ago. I mean, they sound like a terrorist. They sound like a Trump Putin. But yeah, I'll probably shut this one down and come back later. See if there's some better people on later. It's kind of hard to find good people. I got to go through a few thousand people, a few thousand Trump Putineers, and trolls and bots and stuff before I get one or two good people. I had Mr. Trollduck here in here earlier, and he's decent. But no, we don't. Yeah, I was answering your question. You got another question? Your question wasn't bad. You were like, who do you think killed Charlie Kirk? Trump killed him. Trump's responsible for killing Charlie Kirk. No matter who did it. If Israel did it, Trump's still responsible. If Tyler Robinson did it under Trump and Nick Fuentes' direction, then Trump is responsible. If Tyler Robinson did it as a lone wolf, Trump is responsible. Because why did Tyler Robinson do it if he did it as a lone wolf? Because of the Epstein files or something, right? Trump, right? Trump could have released the Epstein files and that wouldn't have happened. Trump could have not made such a big deal about the Epstein files in the first place and that wouldn't happen. Trump's responsible if he did it for the Epstein files. If he did it because he has a trans lover, I don't believe that. But if he did it because his lover is trans and he was protecting trans people, self-defense for trans community, that's still Trump's fault. There's no reason why people should be attacking trans people or demonizing trans people except Trump's been doing that. That's still Trump's fault. Okay? Uncle Dub says, I'm in a car using text to speech, speech to text, and I just heard you say that the dude who shot and killed Charlie Kirk and his gay lover is a Hallmark movie. That's what I heard you say. You need help. No, I said, if that was true, I don't think that's true, but if that was true, as bad as Cash Patel wrote their text exchange to say, my love this, and my love that, as bad as he wrote that, that could be a Hallmark movie. Okay? It's a bad script. Well, I mean, Hallmark movies isn't a high standard, but that could be a Hallmark movie. Uncle Dub says, oh my God, you just said Trump is responsible. I'm leaving. Get help, dude. You're going to be in the news next, you moron. No, nobody's going to be on the news. They're afraid of my ideas. I'm definitely never going to be on the news, okay? They're afraid of my ideas. I've got so many videos on YouTube. They're never going to be looking through them or talking about them or exposing them to anyone because they're afraid of what I have to say. It's as simple as that. I'm never going to do anything to be on the news. Don't worry about that. Oh, I better show your comment, though. RVBG says, you are a complete jackass. How do you know I'm complete? Why would you even think I'm a jackass? Like, I'm making points that other people are going to make. I've obviously got the wrong people in the live. I got 3 people who are all just confrontational idiots, Trump ears. And that's not what I came on here to talk to. So I'll shut this live down and we'll try again.